Howdy ho there, folks, and welcome to Assassin's Creed 3, actually the remastered version of the game. I decided to give it a quick whirl, see if, I don't know, if my performance had changed at all. It ran pretty well beforehand, but there was some frame dips that were kinda bad sometimes. But it seems like with some new NVIDIA drivers, I think it's just been optimized very, very well. You guys have been hearing me talk for quite a while now that I need to upgrade some parts in my system, mainly the processor, because a lot of Ubisoft games and some other PC games that I play, they really heavily rely on the CPU, and I don't know. When I picked out my CPU, it's only a 4-core i3. I thought I was getting a hyper-threaded version, but I was mistaken. And I didn't realize it yet until I put the PC together and was checking out all my hardware. Realized I didn't have a hyper-threaded processor, which typically doesn't do too much when it comes to gaming, but Ubisoft games tend to rely a lot more on the CPU. So it's sometimes I have some odd performance because I've got plenty of cores. I've got 4 cores. Most games only need really 2 or 4 at most, but definitely having some hyper-threading would probably be helping me out here. But I'm playing it on the PC. You may notice I have I'm like spacing right now. This is mainly just going to be like a quick test to make sure everything can work pretty well. I ran some tests earlier today and it seems to perform pretty well. I've got PlayStation controls because I'm actually using my PS4 controller, because the Xbox controller I have, its D-pad is kind of fucked up, so I'd rather not be messing with it here. So we're going to hop in. We're going to play this game. I've been meaning to come back and play Assassin's Creed 3 because I actually really like the game. It's different, I would say, compared to some of the other games, especially the more recent games, of course. But I don't know, a lot of people have problems with Connor, the main protagonist. I really don't have a problem with him at all. I love Connor. But we'll get into it. It's going to be a little bit of a longer game, but I'm pretty excited to get into it here. Let's go ahead and... there we go.
Used to be when people talked about the end of the world, we locked them up. Or laughed them off. Sometimes both. But we never took them seriously. Maybe we should have. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Better to start at the beginning, with the abduction of Desmond Miles, my son. This boy had no ambition, no direction, no plans for the future. What he did have was a heritage, one he chose to deny. It nearly cost him his life. He was captured and imprisoned. Those who took him believed he could help them find something. The apple. One of several artifacts we call pieces of Eden. Bits of ancient technology scattered across the globe. Some hidden, some found, all of them dangerous. Most are held by a single group, the same group that now had Desmond. You know them as Abstergo Industries. We know them as the Templars, as the enemy. We've been fighting them for thousands of years, even longer if you believe the stories of their origins. I do. After all, I've seen the truth. That's the beauty and the horror of the Animus. A device that allows us to enter and experience the lives of our ancestors. It holds the power to change everything, to show us history the way it really happened. Up until its creation, to the victor went the spoils, went the truth. We're trying to fix that, to free minds and bodies both. But there's only so much that we can do, and the Templars have the upper hand these days. But something larger than the Assassins and Templars is approaching. Bigger than all of us. And if we can't find a way to stop it, these next few weeks will probably be our last. Everyone's last. In the end, it all comes down to him. To Desmond. Through the Animus, he discovered his heritage, explored the lives of his ancestors, and uncovered their secrets. When that was done, he trained. He used another ancestor to provide decades of experience in the span of a few days. It worked. We think. We hope. Soon we'll know. That ominous date fast approaches, December 21st, 2012. None of us knows what it'll bring, only that this is where they want us to be, when it does. They've been guiding us in their own fractured, frustrating way. These voices from the first civilization, the ones who came before, a precursor race of immense power and uncertain motives.
They're also tall as hell.
Who made the pieces of Eden. This is where they've led him, and through him, us. He stands at the entrance to this long-lost place, armed with the knowledge of Altair and the abilities of Ezio. He holds in his hands the apple of Eden, and we stand at his side, ready to support him however we can. His name is Desmond Miles, and he has brought us to the end.
By the way, that weird skipping you were noticing at the end, that's not the game, or it is the game, it's the cutscene. I don't know, it's a weird frame rate compared to the rest of the game, because you can see it's running just fine. And there's some weird frame drops at the beginning here too. After this though, it smooths out pretty well.
We're here.
Really, the remastered version, it ran pretty well already on PC. I unfortunately didn't have a copy of it, though. I only have the remastered one.
Let's go.
What they did was they overhauled the whole lighting system. But thankfully all the models are the same. That was one problem I had with... I never played the Ezio trilogy, but I did see gameplay of it. When they remade those, they fucked up everybody's eyes. They look too glassy. Thankfully for this game, they did not. And there's some other changes as well. I would prefer to play it on PC, just have better performance. Because on the PS3, this game did suffer some frame rate drops. But also too, the PS3 is... It's 12 years old now. So it's getting on there in years. Games used to run.
In another moment, down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again.
Man, I miss Desmond. They don't have him in any of the games anymore. Thankfully too, on PC the load times are practically nothing. Alright. Yeah, they overhauled the whole lighting. There must be still some things loading in the background, or there's like a background process going on that I don't know about. Then again, I am also recording it as well.
I think we're here.
You think? I know so, good sir. Alright, I'm gonna have to adjust my sensitivity to... Let's go, let's do that. Controls. Oh really? It's out of 5? That might be mouse acceleration then. Jump, no. Where is it? Both controls, no. I may just need to bump it down just a little bit then. Because it might be thinking it's a mouse. That's a little better. Let's go, Desmond. Go, 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 go. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If recording the game it gets pretty bad sometimes with stability, I'll switch back over to the PS3 version. Hopefully I don't have to do that too deep into the game. Because you know how I like to play my games, guys. I like to look around and grab stuff. I'm actually recording this right off the heels of Metal Gear Solid 2. I finished recording that yesterday, I want to say. Yesterday or 2 days ago.
The key. You must find the key.
Son?
Oh god, here we go again.
Sir. Here we go again.
At this point, he just knows.
Desmond?
Do you hear us?
Yeah. What happened?
The temple triggered a bleeding effect. You collapsed and entered into a fugue state.
So naturally, you dropped me into the Animus instead of, I don't know, making sure I was okay?
You weren't in any danger. Besides, the temple appeared to be communicating with you, and I didn't want to risk severing the connection. At least not until we knew what it wanted.
Right. Of course.
Son,
No, it's fine. I get it. And I know what I'm looking for, by the way. It's a key. Just no idea where it is, though. I guess that's why she triggered the bleeding effect.
She?
Juno, Dad. She's talking to me.
Naturally.
Okay, Desmond. While you were, visiting Constantinople, we picked up a software update for the Animus. I'd like to run a couple of quick tests, make sure there aren't any major issues.
All right. What do you need me to do?
We'll start simple. Walk to the marker over there.
The green icon designates... I thought my phone went off. Designates destination or an interaction. I loved it when they made this game. Because they finally updated the game engine. Don't get me wrong, I love Ezio's games. But the fact they updated to this engine, I love this climbing engine. I really, really do. It's really bright though. Can I change that? General. Brightness is at a 6. Let's dump that down to a 5. That's a little better. I don't know, this climbing engine, it's just, it's
Okay,
so
Desmond,
smooth.
let's practice climbing on these objects.
Alright. Press that to climb, hold that to climb. I don't know, man, like, it's just so smooth and fluid. I love talking about games, because it's just so good. I don't know. It's so fluid. And I remember, too, when this game came out, I was reading up on everything I could find out about the game. Like how they got the animations and such. It's fantastic,
Run
actually.
your way through this little obstacle course.
I love it when games have like a lot of behind the scenes stuff you can look at. Free run to the marker, you got it.
That's a constraint. These are optional objectives that raise your synchronization rate.
Perform an air
All right, Desmond,
assassination.
follow the on-screen instructions and kill the 2 Templars.
Okay. Just punch him in the back of the head.
All you have to
I love
do
it.
here is jump the gap.
I love it. Jump over to the marker. Yeah, you have to, if it's an unsafe jump, this is when they started putting this in the game. If it's an unsafe jump, because you just hold this to free run now, which is glorious. But if you need to make an unsafe jump, you gotta press the jump button. I don't know. I'm gonna be gushing about it for a minute here, but I like it. Yep, just gotta jump. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. This is also the first game they had you vault over stuff. I don't know. There's gonna be a lot of information in the beginning here. Mainly because it's, I don't know, I'm feeling pretty peppy and giddy.
Synchronization levels look good now. We should be able to build the world. Time to find out what the temple wants from you.
Fantastic. It's literally building the world. Some people are biased about it, but I love the opening to this game.
Sir? Sir? Everything all right, sir?
Yes, fine. I'm just preoccupied, that's all.
Don't forget your invitation. Master Birch will be meeting you inside.
Thank you.
Where shall I retrieve you once you're done?
Front of the Opera House. And be quick about it. Don't expect to be here long.
I'll bring her round at once.
Fantastic. Thank you, James. Have a good one. Sequence 1, a deadly performance. Let's get it.
Invitation, please. Shall I take your coat, sir?
No. Fantastic. New email received. Leave the animus to read it.
Gentlemen, you are requested to kindly find your seats.
Find a seat. Oh yeah, the database. Theatre Royal. You may hear this referred to as Covent Garden, which it faces, or the Royal Opera House, which it later became. However, this is the original Theatre Royal building. Opened in 1732, destroyed by the fire of 1808. It will be rebuilt and then destroyed by a fire again in 1857, and then almost completely renovated in the 1990s. They've installed a smoke detector this time. The original theater lineup was varied, containing ballet, operas, and even acrobatics. Many of Handel's operas opened here, right up until his death in 1759, when he mysteriously stopped writing them. But the building was mainly used for presenting plays, at least for the first 100 years of its history. The reason? It held exclusive rights to perform spoken drama in London, awarded by King Charles II. Yes, kings could do that. Though why they would is beyond me. I love Sean. Let's see. Theatre Royale, Sean, Ezio, Altair. Individuals. Oh. Sean gets his own entry? Oh, birthday? Nice try. Okay. He writes these all himself, by the way. Anyways, let's get back to the game. Sorry if I keep flashbanging you. Honestly, the Assassin's Creed games were one of the reasons I got really heavy into history. Okay.
My apologies.
Evening, Hatham.
Reginald?
I can't tell you how happy I was to hear they'd mounted this revival. Gay's best work by far. Have you seen it before?
Once. My father brought me here as a child. Though I remember little of it. I don't suppose tonight will afford me the luxury of a proper viewing either.
No, I'm afraid it won't.